Hello all, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing chapter 35 called Slippin' Away from TankGirl Armadillo, written by Alan C. Martin. If you do not know this book or don't know this series, please go check out my channel, and down below you can find an area where it has all the chapters so you can read from the beginning or just jump into this one. So if you haven't subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that? Smash that like button on the way out, and let's get going. All right. Chapter 35, Slipping Away. I took Evan Stevens back to Jet Girl's house, and I went to bed. I had a fever coming on, and some microscopic bug had caught me unawares. I worried about Booga and all that, but it was his own stupid fault if he wanted to go and stick his head right in the lion's mouth. His rescue had to wait until I felt a little bit better. Steven seemed to fit right in with the guys. I suspect that Jet Girl had a little crush on him. She acted like a spazzy and uncool when he was in the room. I left them to it, and I collapsed under a heap of tangled blankets on Jet Girl's enormous four-poster. I slept soundly for 18 hours and woke up very early the next morning, just as the sun was coming up. There was nobody else around, so I made myself a cup of char, wrapped myself up in a duvet, and went out to sit on the sunny end of the porch. I could tell that it was going to be a sweet day. Everything was quiet and perfect. A honeybee landed on my bedding, mistaking one of the yellow on green polka dots for a nice juicy flower. He came up real close to my face, struggling to extract some pollen from my stinky old duvet. Then he gave up. I watched as he rubbed his little legs together and prepared for takeoff. At that moment, I had something that I could only describe as a revelation. It was as though a veil had lifted. Things suddenly looked different. I'm going to try to explain it to you here. I know you're probably thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, Tank Girl, drop all the existential evangelical. Is that a fucking word? Evangelical. Okay. Hippie ho-har and get on with the fucking death wars and horrible spatty stuff. But if you cast your mind back a bit, you might remember that I'm trying to tell you the story of why I got in this so bad with chankers, etc. It's all relevant and shit. So sit tight, you might learn something. This is what I was thinking. I started off by wondering about cars. I mean, when I was a kid, cars were a lot clunkier, and not just in design but in substance, compared to a popular Ford model of the 1930s with a recently produced Ford. Notice how the metal shell is now thinner, how the dash is now made out of injection molded plastic instead of thick hard wood. The whole makeup of the car is more sparing of materials than it used to be. I know that the reason for this are patently obvious. More techniques mean that we can manufacture products cheaper by using fewer materials. Dwindling resources inflate the cost of materials, necessitating the need to constantly improve on those techniques. It was the dwindling resource that I was dwelling upon. Every day there are more and more people relying on less and less. There are already vast stretches of green land reduced to dust bowls by greedy burger companies. Mutations, freaks, and lunatics arise as we try to squeeze the final drops of life out of our poor, gagging planet with thoughtless scientific modifications. I had a cartoon picture in my head of mankind holding a fucking huge syringe sucking green, blue, and brown blood out of the striving planet Earth. I could lose myself in a major rant here, but saving the planet from the grabbing hands of you fucking losers is not the point that I'm trying to get at. Although for those of you who are thinking, hey Tank Girl, I used to be into saving the world, but that ain't in anymore, so get with the program. I would like to say fuck you. The death of an entire planet has got nothing to do with your proxy. Insecure world of fashion. It goes on. It was never in the first place, you fucking weekend vegetarian. It hasn't gone away because there is a different band at number one. It's still happening, despite the fact that your easily swayed mind has chosen a new haircut. So kiss my hairy crack and die. Your priorities may have changed, but mine are exactly the fucking same as they always were. Where was I? Oh yeah, this is my point. Everything, just like cars I described earlier, is getting thinner. Think about it. It's fucking true. There are fewer trees making oxygen and more people breathing it, so the air is thinner. Models and sex symbols of bygone ages, from Curembric Renaissance nudies to Marilyn Monroe, have always been curvaculous, voluptuous, and buxom? Buxom? B-U-X-O-M. You figure it out. Now they are Android Rex. Man, she just comes up with some words in here. I'm like, what? I'm too stoned for this shit. Android Rex stick people, slight of frame and thin of personality. Our once fertile ground has been farmed to oblivion. Most of the food that comes out of it now is forced on with fertilizers and bloated with water. It is hardly any taste and precious little nutritious value. Thinness once again. Cigarette paper sure as hell is a lot thinner than it used to be. We put a new tub into Jet Girl's bathroom the other day, and we took the old one out. We found an ancient pack of smoke stuck between the water pipes. It was fascinating stuff. The cigarettes were really chunky, and the paper was loads thicker than these days. Booga, the twit that he is, tried smoking one. It was so horrible he vomited into Jet Girl's new tub, which also made him thinner. Wood, plastic, metal, our supplies of everyday materials have running low. Manufacturers have gone into making thin to stay in the game. Money has also become so thin that you can't even see it anymore, or coinage shrank until it vanished into cyberspace. I went to a restaurant the other day and they gave me a really thin helping of custard on my apple pie. I'm sure that it used to be more when I was a kid. The ozone layer is thinner, letting it in more ultraviolet radiation, which bleaches out natural color and makes everything look really wishy-washy or thin. Okay, so I might have made that last one up, but you get where I'm coming from. I can't remember them all right now, but there are literally hundreds of other examples of emerging thinness in our modern age. I'm sure that you probably thought of some already. All of those thoughts rushed in my head like a blah, 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 blah. Sorry. Like a stampeding herd of thought cattle. Then it hit me. We are disappearing. There will be no apocalypse. No Armageddon. No uprising by starving third world hordes. None of that. One day we will simply disappear. We will run out of the very stuff that gives us substance. We'll have chucked it all away, burned it into a landfill site, washed it down the brown sea with the rest of our sewage. We will sip imperceptibly, I can't even fucking say that. Okay, fun. Into a translucent state, freak out a bit, and then fade from existence. Fuck, bring it on. We deserve nothing more. Anyway, all of that brought on a profound change in my view of the world. Whoever it was that said we are all made of star stuff, well, I could totally see what they were talking about. It was a little bit like in The Matrix when Neo starts to see everything in green code. That's green code, not green cross code. There was a vague notion, but it was very real. I guess a change had come and got me. Perhaps things would never be the same again. Well, that's going to be this for the day. The next chapter is going to be 36, Zulu Dobson's Amazing Sensory Saturation Tank. So tune in for that. I'm going to try to make these at least once a week. So hopefully on Saturdays, I'll come on here and read a chapter from TankGirl, and also currently right now I'm running chapters from Alan Watts' The Way of Zen. So if you want to check that out too, go ahead and give it a look up. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be compassionate, be kind. Let's help one another, okay? You know, shed some light onto this world. Lose your mind and find your soul. I'll be seeing you later. Bye.